This is Nana from Medina Talk Yabi.
Hey guys, this is Denise from Medina Talks Yabi
Tune in every week for the jokes, laughs,
and great vibes.
and serious matters. My thing, in terms of my view, I said is 60-40, yes or no. A 60% yes, because in terms of a black woman, her primary choice is to be with a black man. That's her primary thing. She always wants to be with a black man. But I think what's happening in terms of the trend is that a lot of black men have gone for white women or women of different races and other cultures. So I think the black woman is kind of feeling, well, you know what, no one's really giving me a look into. So I'm gonna go with a white man, and that's what actually happens. The other side of it is that there are a lot of black men actually who do go for black women. There are, what I'm trying to say. It's not in terms of percentage. As my mum would say, maybe I need to drop it down because maybe me saying 40% is, she might say, over exaggerating. But there are a lot of black men who go for black women. Do you know what I mean? So I don't want obviously the primary thing to be, oh yeah, like there's not black men who don't, because there are black men who are. But in terms of
Okay, God, am I frozen?
nah, you were jumping, but you're free. You're good now. Go on.
All right.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good now.
yeah. So my thing is what I said earlier is that black men play a massive part in basically putting a lot of black girls in one stereotype. Does that make they're stereotyping black girls, which makes everyone else stereotype black girls about where to be angry, aggressive, ghetto, and all of these stuff. It's like, as I said on like a previous live, is that there's different classes of women in all races. So for you to think that black women are ghetto or some sort, that's why you prefer a white woman, that's ignorance, and that's also, I feel like there's hatred within your own. Cause is that how you see your mother? What I was also saying is that I would love to, like, I had someone I used to speak to. She said that she's loyal to black men, so she won't go with no other race. So I said, even if that means that you won't, say if there was like you never found a black man, you wouldn't go with a different race. She goes, no, she's too loyal. So I was like, do you know what? I would love to be like that, but I'm not gonna be loyal to a black man or black men if they're not gonna be loyal to us black women. So there will probably, and I feel like there's probably a higher chance of me dating outside my race again, because there's not enough black men that are out there that are like a good black men. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so one of the things that I want to ask you, because you're saying about you said about loyal. So I kind of want to go in deeper with you. So what do you mean loyal? Are you talking about in terms of when you're in a relationship, not sleeping around? What is your
No.
definition?
So she was saying loyal, and I said I'm not that loyal. As in, like, she's loyal. As in, like, she would only go for black men. She will only go for black men. She won't step outside her race. She's there for her black men. Whereas me, I'm not gonna be waiting all my life trying to find a nice black man when there is probably a white man there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna go
Well,
her
the thing is,
life
because
trying to look for a
because
black man and I can't
what
find him. That's what I mean.
well
I'm not
the
cheating on
thing
you.
is, well, the thing is, because one of the things that I've heard is that I've heard from a lot of black women that actually white men treat them better than black men, and obviously, like, in terms of white men, like, they find black women to be exotic, like they will really treat them well, whereas I've been told that, in comparison to a black man, they don't. And we've got a comment here. So Shan said, I feel sometimes when a black man is part of a big family and is surrounded by overpowering women, when it comes to their relationships, they gravitate to the opposite, but they do lust over black women. That's fair. That's a fair point. Do you know what I mean? But the thing is, though, and maybe Shan, what you're saying goes back to what Venice is saying, because you mentioned the term overpowering. So, do you feel as a Venice, in terms of what she's saying, that there are some, because you mentioned it earlier, you said that, some black men say, some black women, they're too much hassle, they're this and this and this. And I guess to me, that's very much a very much a weak excuse to go and say that's the reason why you won't go for.
As I said, there's different. As I said, there's different classes. There's different classes of women. So you got like the very strong-minded women. But do you know what I don't understand? Because men will want that, but when they have it, they don't want it. So I just don't understand that anyway. But like,
the problem is, but the thing for me is this though. One of the things that I'm gonna say is that this is my thing to black women sometimes. Hey Jane, this is my thing to black women sometimes, because when black women, because the second part of the question that we talk about is that, you know, are black women, are black women being less desirable to black men? Yeah. The thing for me is this. Sometimes some black women, it goes to what Ryan's saying, is that there's some black men that you go for, and in terms of, like, let's say the caliber of the black man that you're going for is the one that's not going to give you stability. So I feel sometimes some black women, like, because you mentioned about class within within each races, yeah. But I feel as though some black women, though, in terms of some of the black men they're going for, you're not always going for the one who's actually got substance about him. And then you have this blanket view that, oh yeah, all black men are like this. But it's like, the ones you're going for, like, go for the good. My thing is this, and you one day said it quite a bit.
And like, we said as well, where? Remember where?
Where? But my thing is this: when you find the good black man, when you find the good black man, the good educated black man, the one who's actually gonna go and treat you very well, don't overlook him, because then the black man who you're saying who's trash, then you've got a blanket view and saying that all black men are like that, and you can't, because there's no way someone like me growing up doing the normal, like the route that I've gone by, professional route, banners and everything, that I should be told by any black woman, oh yeah, you know what, you're not really the kind of black man that I go for. Like, you're clean, you're this, you speak very well. And it's like, what does that mean? So then when you're saying,
girls don't say all black men are trash. Women say men are trash. So we don't really put color involved. Like, there's a lot of black women love and lust over a black man. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, black women do. Like, a black woman's primary choice is a black man. A black woman is always gonna be like, I'm going for a black man. Like, that's standard.
Like, the last person that I was in a situation with, he said, yeah, he loves black women or whatever, but he said he does have a preference. I was like, what's your preference? He said Brazilian. So in my head, yeah, I'm hoping that's Brazilian. I haven't actually asked him. We don't speak no more. I'm hoping that he meant Brazilian black women, because I don't trust, even like my friend as well, he's like my best friend. He likes East European women. That's all I've ever seen with.
Yeah, but they love black men though. But they love black men though.
Yeah, but I don't. Me personally, when we're at how close we are, whatever, I don't really trust people that don't love themselves, as in to the point where, like, I will date a white man, I will get married to a white man, I will love a white man. However, I will never say that my preference is a white man. My preference is a black man. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, your preference should always be your own. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the white guy that I dated and that I was seeing for a year, he said he only likes black women, and that should have like rang alarm bells, because this sounds like a fetish to me.
Well, this is the thing. Well, this is the thing here. What you're saying about, because when you mentioned about do non-white women, is it easy for them to get a black man? It is, because, as you said, sometimes it is a fetish, you know, because sometimes it's like, oh, well, you know what, like, I want to get a black man, you know, big dick game and all this kind of thing there. Because
children.
Yeah, yes, and you hear that, and sometimes you hear it, it's like, oh yeah, I want big black dick, I want my brown babies. Sometimes it is a fetish, you know. There's some who are like, yeah, like, I want a nice chocolate man, because it's a fetish. Do you know what I mean? You know, and obviously,
and men don't see that they're still in this game. Like, we're dying out. Do you get what I'm saying? We're in this game, and I feel like a lot of men, not to say, you know, I feel like a lot of men, like, probably in school days or whatever, they was tarnished due to this. I know there's a few guys that are out there that was tarnished because, like, they were getting cussed or whatever due to the skin color, so they're scared to have black children. They don't want their black children to go through the same, so they would rather have a life.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case. But I mean, but at the same time, though, you know, in terms of how black women are feeling, because, like I said, I speak to black women all the time. Yeah, I'm trying to say, and I do understand that as a black woman, I understand why black women do get frustrated, and they're like, you know what, actually, because I'm not getting a look into from my black men, I'm gonna go for a white man. I'm gonna go for white man because, as you said earlier, are you really gonna be waiting for a black man to come and approach you, and be with you and all these sorts of things, when maybe a white man is giving you interest? Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, that's why I said that's why I'm not loyal. That's what I meant,
yeah,
earlier.
do you know what I mean? Yeah, I get that. I get when black women say that. I get that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it. I mean, sometimes I can say I'm a bit like, kind of like, what's a what? As a black woman, what, you can't find no black men? There's plenty black men there. The only thing that I sometimes I'm not happy with black women sometimes is that it's the type of black man that you're going for, whereby it's the one that you can't go forward with, and then you have a blanket view of us black men. That's the only thing that
Trust me,
I
they're not.
disagree.
Well,
You know what I mean? I don't think black
yeah,
women are so quick to diversify, though. No, and I agree with that. I
black
don't
men
think
are.
black
They're
women.
just like they want. You
No,
know what
no,
it is? They
and
want. Do you know what's
that's what
even
I'm
worse?
saying.
You know what's even worse? And this is why I say, yeah, black women are going to die out. What's even worse now is that a lot of white women, right, are
Mhm.
now having black features on white skin, and they're even browning up their skin a bit to look more desirable. There's gonna
Well,
be no
this
need
is
for
it.
us. There's gonna be no need for
But
us.
this is it. But it's what Shan said. Shan said that some men give the impression that their own is not their preference. That is shocking. But the thing is, though, what I'm gonna say to you is, there are some black men who say, I don't like black women. There are some who genuinely actually say, I don't like black women. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's like, I've had people who say, oh, you know what, as what you said before, oh, black women are too much stressed. Oh, they're too much hassle, man. Nah. And it's like, but any black man who says that, I question that, because the household that you come from, your mum would have been giving you hassle. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Your
It's
mum,
something that's embedded in you anyway, and it's morals and it's cultural beliefs that's already embedded in you. So that whatever they're bringing to you is nothing different from what
it's
you was
nothing.
raised with.
It's nothing different. But I'll also say that I think with um how the world is as well, it's the same thing, like light is right, white is right. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of women as well, I mean, you look at black women, and yes, black women say, we're low in the pecking order. Our own black men are not are not really choosing us and going for us. Do you know what I mean? So it, like, I do understand. I do really understand it, where black women are coming from. You're rare. You're rare, and it's like, I didn't get that concept to say that, oh, you're rare. It's rare that you see a black man who's who's doing this, who's doing well.
But you got to remember that it's the environment. So if you're brought up in an environment where you take your black people, and a lot of these black people, like black men, are hustling, and now he's shotting weed or whatever. That's your environment. You go to a school, and it's bare black people, and they're out there doing, naughty stuff or whatever. That's your environment. So, say for instance, Brixton back in the day, right, before it's been gentrified, yeah, and Peckham, right, a lot of those black men, a large portion, let's just say 80% of black men were road. And you got the 20% that's, goes probably to a school that's outside of that area. Yeah. So
Yeah,
black women are seeing these road people, and they're growing up, and these guys are still the same. They haven't really changed. They've only just like
but then,
gotten
but
older
then, but
and
then,
gotten a
but
bit
then, this
maturer.
goes to my point. But this goes to my point, though. Now, so I will take on board what you're saying. That in terms of the environment, I will take it on board. But my thing is that sometimes you even get black women who are educated who are going down that route. So I don't understand it.
Desperation.
Yeah,
Desperation.
but then this is the thing.
Desperation.
No, I get that. But then, if you're a black woman and you're saying that, and you're saying there's no good black men out there, it's go back to what Ryan said. If you know, if because my thing is this, year, because it's sad for me to say it, but my thing is this. From what I view sometimes, for a lot of people to say to me that you are a rare black man and all this and all that, that's quite shocking to hear that you're rare. I'm like, there's plenty of black men like me, you know, that who are doing well, who have got those values. But some of the black men you're going for, and then you say, oh, but then a white man would never do this. A white man will treat me better. It's like,
but that's what I said.
what
Though.
right?
It depends on where they've grown up and their environment. That's all stems down to their environment. So I could say, from a point up to my life, that I didn't see all these fuckery guys. The only when I went to uni and started mixing around with different people from different areas, and I've got one of my good friends. He's doing well, and he's a black man. Do you get what I'm saying? So it depends on your environment and where you live. Like, I used to live on the estate. You don't really see good people on the estate. Probably
But
one
so
or
did
two.
I though. But then the thing
But,
is, but
it depends though on your environment, because not every estate's the same. I can only speak from like my experience. You know what I mean? Growing up in the estate and looking at the guys my age and what they're doing. They weren't really doing nothing much. And I was young then. Then obviously I moved house. But then people that I'll never even go to uni, the black guys that would move to me were all on fuckeries. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they would. So it depends on the environment. Only as I now go to different things and I go to network and I see different guys and whatever, I know that this is just a portion, but
it's a portion, yeah, exactly. Venice, I've got you back. Yeah, no, what you're saying is, we got a question and we need a Zoom for this, and you know, we need to do a Zoom for this. Actually, we do.
Oh,
we need Zoom. Yeah, what I'm saying is that I get what you're saying in terms of the environment, because I grew up on this estate. There were boys who were like that where I lived, and actually, I was friends with a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? But they used to come around my house and all those sorts of things. But I didn't really involve myself like that. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense, innit? So I agree with you that the environment does have a lot to play. Go on.
No, I'm just saying, like, as a black man, there's a certain level of security you need to have to be able to deal with a black woman. Because if you're a bit, you know, not in order,
yeah,
she's gonna demand a lot of you, and if you can't provide what she needs you to provide, then you're gonna be in trouble, and then you're gonna be like, oh, you know what? Let me just go to Becky. Becky's just gonna take me the way I am. And Becky's not gonna demand you to, you know, put your weight and stuff like that. So it's
and step up,
Isn't it? Yeah. So you don't want a woman to basically push you into for you to excel what you can do.
No, you don't need
to do well. Then have a Becky just to take you on and not even want you to progress or to push you. Am I making sense? I feel like I'm just
basically right. The thing is, a black woman will want you to be the head of the family, provide, be the man.
Yes.
Where's Becky? Becky coming from a place of privilege. She's okay if you're down there and she's up there, because she's always gonna look at you like, you know, you're down there somewhere.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, Becky's probably came from a household where the man is on top anyway. So why would a black man dumbing himself down? So Becky will probably have a father and a mother, and the father's out there going to work, probably doing sales or has his own business. Yeah. While the mum probably got her thing going on, or she's staying at home, and then Becky's in the middle, and she's gonna go for a black man, and she's not gonna make him do well, but her father's out there along with the other white people exceeding. So I don't like.
It's true, because Becky will use you as a toy or distraction, my friend. In that case, if you're not stepping up, her parents will tell her to let you go. That's the reality.
What I want to ask you is black women, because you know, Shanna's here, Nadine's here, Yewande, Venice, and Christina. So what I want to ask you as black women is that, in terms of what we discussed on the Instagram live, and we were kind of saying about how, you know, I was kind of saying that obviously a lot of black women are kind of feeling that, you know, black men are not really going for them. Is that kind of more prone in you to go for white men now? Because obviously how the stats are is that actually if black men are going more for white women, it's like, well, you know, as Venice said, I'm not really going to be waiting for a black man to be ready or to be loyal to me.
I can step up here. I have two versions of this, because when I was in my 20s, I used to go out with white guys because of that. and actually had longer relationship with them because I was fearing that black men would be too immature for me. And also because I kind of was conditioned by my mother, let's say. And growing older, I prefer my black men, but it's true. How can I say that? I feel like that not. Yeah, it's true. There's this character difference where older black men are confident in themselves, which is good. While they're young, they're still searching for themselves and their identity. Therefore, you're not their first choice. Because I can say for my brother, he's 5 years younger than me. And since he was a teenager until his 30s, he was only going out with white girl. And once I confronted him about that, I said, you're going to end up with mixed kid because you're telling me that you want black kids, but you only go out with white girl. What is this? And he was like, oh, you don't know, black girl are a mess. They're too hard to handle and to pull. White girl are easy. So, you see what I mean? So I was like, but...
He was just looking for sex. He wasn't looking for a relationship.
Exactly. So he was a player. So he had these phases, right? So from him, I've learned, and not only him, because some of my cousin, my, half brother. So around me, all the guys around my family were doing this. So that's why I was like, are they lost, or is it because we were raised in a Western country, therefore they don't like themselves? Because my dad would tell that to me. He would tell me, with all the black people or Caribbean or African we have in France, why are they going after white only? And I say, because they were raised here, and for them, it's easier game, I guess.
But the thing for me, though, I mean, like I was saying before, I was kind of saying that I feel as though, you know, for a lot of black women, the men that you are going for, because obviously it's like I was saying earlier, that there are black men out there whereby they are not rare black men who are not doing well and who do not like black women. But I think obviously there's an undertone to say that there's a lot of black men who don't really feel that they can progress with a black woman, and that's the reason why a lot of them might go for a white woman, because they're looking at their aspect into their journey. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Because basically they're looking for, first, there's two reasons, especially for the one who are either very successful or celebrities. Usually it's to have white validation, because it's a way to say, look, I'm successful, therefore I'm like you, accept me. And second, it's also for upward mobility. So it goes together, is to have access to a network of connection that you would not have if you were with a black woman, whether it's through church, through finance, through economics, and through social status. So, because most of them, when you ask them, it's because they want their kid to go to a certain school and they want to erase kind of, let's say, the ghetto tag, if you see what I mean, to say, oh, now I'm that level, therefore if I was with a black woman, she would not help me to stand my ground in the eyes of the society.
But you know what I'm quite interested in? Where do people get such ideology? Where does this come from? Who teaches this? Because as a woman, if I had a male child, I would never teach my son these things.
Me too, I would never, but because I was, how do you say? Because the same as you, I've lived here 14 years. I've lived in France 25. So, and I was always wondering why all those footballers, we were like twice world champion. They all married with white women. And some of my friends had the theory, it's to be accepted by the French society, or it's because they go in football very young, therefore their coach put them in touch with a white girl. So it's like they're kind of not forcing them to date white girl, but to be accepted, they will comply to it. You see what I mean? And like we only had one who had a black girl. It used to be Turam, because They were raised together. He was his cool sweetheart. And it was weird because out of, let's say, 18, 22 footballers, there's only one who is married to a black woman. So we were like, what's the message, you know? And it's not only in football, it's every successful area. So, and we, even rappers, the same. We have all those rappers who come from the suburbs and they marry traditional, let's say, white Jewish family, who are heirs, basically, because I think one of the biggest one he married, she's the heir of a casino chain, so she's very wealthy. And we were like, but they come from two different worlds. What's this? It's like he's erasing his background, basically.
So the question that I wanted to ask you all, is that, you know, because obviously, like, me and Ryan are here as black men. Do you feel that sometimes that, you know, in terms of what's happening with black women, because the stats are that in terms of how black women are, they're quite, from what I've heard, that a lot of black women are very much low in the pecking order, in the sense that they're not really getting picked by black men. Black men are going more so for white women, you know, and black women are kind of like, you know, I've had enough. You know, I'm not gonna wait for you to kind of love me or kind of pick me. If a white guy is doing it for me, I'm gonna go with him. And actually, a white male is actually treating me better than my own black men.
Yeah, it used to be like that for me. Yeah.
Go on,
you know what I think, yeah, we can blame a lot of this on the media and stuff like that. And like the media, like who owns the media is a lot of white people. So they're gonna have they're gonna acknowledge their white people first before black people. So on TV you will see a lot of white men, a lot of white women. Do you know what I mean? You don't see, and now they're getting like white women, Mitchell's child, and a black man. You don't really see that much black women. I think it was more out there on the TV and stuff. I feel like we'll become more, you know, recognize that actually we are here. We are like, we're not as you think that we are. The only thing that people can go by is when you watch like these silly little TV programs like Atlanta and Housewives and all of these things, and it portrays black people to be these aggressive and this and that and this and that. We're not acting like that. Do you know what I mean?
But it's reality TV. They're making their money by doing drama, basically. So
I know,
they're not representative.
I know, but then people look at all of us like that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
that's
know.
the only thing.
You know what?
Black people. But that's black people. Like, if that's the only thing that we see black women on. Remember, we don't have a platform. So we're only.
We do, but we need to. Okay.
To be honest, I think it's all bullshit, to be honest with you. Because at the end of the day, if you're a black man, you've been raised by a black woman, there is no way in hell you're going to think that a white woman is better than your mum. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
I hear that, but I feel like it's different though. I feel like when we're in a different society though, we're living in a different way than our family, than our parents. You know what I mean?
But it's conforming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? It's conforming to what we see out here. But at the end of the day,
if you think it's more lust, if a black man, more lust, like I don't really want
to. It's lust, jungle fever, and fetish. That's all it is.
Jungle fever, I love it.
You know, but the thing is, with what Ryan's saying is right, because obviously it's like there are because let's put it into perspective. You do get a lot of there are white girls out there. You know, I mean, you gave an example, Venice, of the Eastern Europeans. They love a black man. Oh, you know, I want a chocolate.
British girl love a chocolate man. Come on.
You know, I'm just saying. In terms of black men, being able to get as a black man, being able to get any, I'm just saying, a woman who's not black. It's not. I'm just saying. It's not something that's difficult for black men.
Yeah, it's very easy.
It's very easy for you know, if you are a black man, it's very easy for a woman who's non-white to go for you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it's about how black women are. It's about how black women are actually being perceived.
Perceived,
I mean,
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And that's probably the reason. One of the reasons why, because as what we were talking about a minute ago about Real Housewives of Atlanta and all those sorts of things, there's a narrative out there of the black woman. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Some black men like that. Some black men, you know, because if you look at them and they're kind of like their circle, or they're all with black men. Not one of them are with.
Yeah, they're always black men.
They're all.
But okay, the difference.
You know what it is?
It's TV first. So first is TV. Second, those women, they're super wealthy. It's always amazed me to see that even if they're wealthy, because they're on TV, they act a certain way, basically. I think everything is scenarized.
But they're wealthy on the backs of black athletes that have put them there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the black athletes, they wouldn't be. I think mostly it's corporate men. Corporate men are the ones that go for the white women because they're trying to get into them boards, the meetings
because they want upward mobility. Yeah, they want upward mobility.
But the thing is, but as black women though, do you feel a sense of kind of like, not betrayal, but it's like, you know what? Actually, the amount of black men that are...
No.
Go on, Shannon, I'm listening.
Not at all. No, sorry to cut you, but I just felt so passionate about that. We don't feel any type of way at all. Crack on.
Right. So you don't feel any... No, because sometimes I talk to black women and they're like, I don't understand why black men are not going for me. Why? What's happening?
No, I never asked myself this question. The only time I felt like that was 3-4 years ago, because I was like a bit lost, and I was like, how come black men are not looking at me? I seems to only like at this stage, like until my, let's say, early 30s, I was only attracting white men. Black men were not looking at me. So, or if they go out with you, it's for like a quick thing. It's never for long term. So I always wonder, maybe it's their problem because they only lust at you. They don't love you. You see what I mean? So
another thing, right? You look at picture it this way. If you were born in Africa, it's different from being born in France.
Exactly.
Or in the UK.
Yeah.
Because they grow up seeing like white women all over, and the media, everything they see on TV is white women. So they think, oh, if we're gonna make it, we need to have a white woman.
Yes.
Whereas some of us that grew up in Africa
or Caribbean, it doesn't have this mindset.
Yeah, we don't have that mindset to say, oh, to make it, I have to have a white woman.
Exactly. No, it's true. Because I see the way my dad, I think he told me, only went once with a white woman in his life. He always been loyal to black women. And it's because he was raised in the Caribbean. Compared to my brothers and my cousin, they always go with white women because we were raised in the Western world.
So Shan, I want to ask you, what's your view on this? Because you mentioned a lot about how you feel as though you said black men or Caribbean are whitewashed. What's your kind of take on this whole thing in terms of?
So, I just find it tends to be English black men or Caribbean black men who have been raised in England who tend to go for women who are not black, to be quite 100%. Fair. And where it comes to maybe men who are come from Africa or other places, not just Africa. It could be Russia or stuff like that. They tend to stick to their own, cultural. They have these cultural boundaries within them, and they say, I'm not going to step beyond them. And if I do, it's going to be short-lived. It won't be something that I take home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the Indians and the Asians.
They'll
have their little fun, but that'll be it. I dated a black
they never marry outside. They never marry outside.
Yes, it is.
But we are very accepting.
I kind of grew up in Middlesbrough, so I was surrounded by a lot of white girls, Middlesbrough up north. And then I went on holiday to South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
I came back a changed man.
He saw the everywhere.
And things changed straight away.
God. Your eyes open, right?
Yeah. The whole pack of Halle Berry.
But the thing for me though, but in terms of also another thing, because we mentioned a lot about culture. Does culture also have a part to play as to, black men and black women, as well as dating outside your race? Does culture have a part to play in it as well? Because I mentioned before Africans and Caribbean. Do you think that part of it also, in terms of the trend, is also because the intercultural issues, we haven't really dealt with it? And is that kind of a reason why, that, let's say, black men are going for, white women and not for black women and vice versa? Or is that just
no? I think that's a myth.
Is that secondary?
I think that's a myth. I don't think there's an issue with regards to Caribbean women and African men or African women and Caribbean men. No, I think that's just hyped up.
Yeah,
I remember my friend saying yesterday that he likes Brazilian women because it's their culture. But I was like, so then why won't you go for an African person? Like, what do you mean?
Because you want a mixed race girl. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. But he didn't want to actually say that. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So when you talk about Brazilian, are you talking about white Brazilian or black Brazilian? And
no,
I already
want
know
a mixed race girl. That's it.
He likes like European women anyway. He goes for them. So it's just like, then why don't you just date yourself an African person that's got all that culture, but you're out here learning Spanish because you want to be with, just say that you want to be with a white person and not a black person, that own your shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think that's why I said I don't really trust, like, obviously we all can like date whoever we want to. As I said, yeah, I've dated pretty much like everything, I feel like. But I feel like when it comes to like, I feel like my preference will always be a black person because I am black myself. So it's just like, I don't really trust people that have a preference that's not their own race. I don't get it. I don't know.
And you know what? I can agree with that, and I'll back that up. And I'll just say it's because it's a reflection of yourself, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
You know, you must love thyself, and if you do, then how could you not love something that kind of resembles you or someone that resembles you? You know,
when they resent themselves, they won't go for you because deep inside themselves they're broken, and they won't admit it because they know a black woman will see it through their game. While if they're with a white woman or another race, they can pretend. You see what I mean? It's like because they will never go as deep and they won't push them to find out what's their problem. While as a black woman, you tend to be quite straightforward. If a guy is acting funny, you will tell him, or if you feel like he's, I don't know, I don't want to say he needs therapy, but usually they have deep issues and those issues will come through at some stage in the relation, and as a black woman you will address it and say, look man, you need to stand your ground, you need to handle this, or because we tend to be very direct.
Issues come from childhood as well, issues that have not been addressed, and then moving forward in life, growing up, exactly. And it's just not been addressed.
We've got a word called Ubuntu, which means like togetherness. Ubuntu. The difference with us black people is we're welcoming to everyone. Yes. Look at the Asian community. The parents tell you straight up, listen, you're bringing a Muslim here.
Yeah.
Bringing Asian. We don't want anything else. Whereas
they
us
put
Africans,
you back
like,
in the garden.
Whereas us Africans, we're like, oh yeah, welcome. Yeah. Oh, my kid is in love. Oh, good enough, whatever. Which is okay, silly. But I think it's weak.
Would you say that black women are becoming less desirable to black men?
Never.
I don't think black women are. I don't think black women are becoming less desirable to black men, though. I don't.
I think it's the opposite. If anything, I think now all of a sudden we're being recognized a lot more.
Yeah, now they need us.
Lot more.
Now they need
what, black men?
Yeah,
black
they
women
need us more than
ever. A lot more.
Yeah.
They need us more than ever now.
Yeah, I think black women are getting a lot more recognition, and black men are starting to look up and be like, okay, all right.
A couple of years ago, there was a stage of, I'll go for the lighty.
The lighty, yeah.
It's not about that no more.
This debate.
Lighties and all that bullshit.
Yeah, but I think black women are getting...
It's nonsense. This is coming from whitewash people. It's colorism. So
I think black women are getting it. Black women are getting their spotlight. Do you know? Not in a bad way, but black women are
spotlight.
But then, do you think that's genuine, or do you think that's just part of trend? I feel like we're like fashionable items.
I would agree. I think some of it is trend.
There's a wave.
Yeah. Some of it is trend. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you sometimes you get them
clout.
Sometimes sometimes you get them white men and all their friends are black and they're with a black woman. Like, my girl's black, and it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Back in the day, we all used to get called bubble lips. People used to get cussed about the shading of the skin color, bums, and all of these things. Now these white people be doing it, and all the cane rows and stuff. people been doing
cultural
it. Now
appropriation, my
fashion. It's not fashion, it's our culture.
Yeah, it's who we are. It's who we are.
It's
cultural appropriation.
We're fashion. We're just fashion to them. That's why it is.
I think as long as the black family is not protected, we're all in trouble.
Yes.
The black family is the first thing that we need to protect. We need to get married to.
It's the first essence, and I think as a new generation, that's what we need to understand, especially with what's happening now. I think it awakened a lot of, let's say, black in the diaspora about the needs to be together, build together, and not just spread your seeds everywhere. And you know, and we disappear because we are diluted. That's what I mean.
But also, I think it's important as well, because I think it's important as well for, as I said, in the lives, that I think for a lot of black women as well, that when you are going for black men, because Venice mentioned about class, I think it's important that you put yourself in the position that you go for a black man who has got substance about him. You don't go for the ones that are how people perceive us, the typical one, because I think that's also part of one of the issues that I've seen, because there's a lot of black women, and it's like those who are with white men. I've asked questions, said, oh, what, so you couldn't find, like, you couldn't find a black man? And they're like, no, it's not that, but sometimes the black men, they're either in jail or they're in prison or they're with white men.
Jail.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's that's some of the responses that I've had, that, oh, well, the black men is either they're in jail or they're in jail.
This
or
is
they're
a
dead,
US stereotype.
Or they're with white white women. Do you know what I mean? These are things that I've said. And then when you I've asked them, okay, so what was your partner like, or your ex-partner like? And then they've told me about, this is the guy that I'm with. I'm like, but it's like you're going for the bottom of the barrel. You're not even going for somebody who has got substance about you.
But when we do go for people that's got substance, when we do go for people that's got substance, or we want, someone that's doing really, really well, then we get times for that as well. You want someone that's
they overlook you. They overlook you.
I was going to say, what type of females are these as well? You need to state.
It depends on what you're offering as well.
The whole thought that you're coming with, then maybe it's questionable to the person
depends what you're offering
making
as well.
such statements.
Yeah, exactly. Because some people are like want to reach for the stars, but they can't offer the stars themselves.
Yes, make sure you can maintain your lane.
Yeah.
No, it's true. No, you have to make sure you maintain your lane. But I guess for me, like in terms of the trend, will black men continue to be, always have other women from other races to go for them? Yeah, that trend is not going to stop. It's not going to stop at all. Are black women becoming less desirable? I would say no. I think black women not necessarily. I think more to other races, are finding black women exotic. They find black women exotic.
Yeah, which is annoying. I hate this.
Black women have told me.
They're trying to say exotic, and then they're trying to imitate us, and then still, like, do you get what I'm saying? So, like, if it, like, why are loads of people getting their bums done, having their lips fillers? Why are people doing that?
They're stealing black beauty. That's it. They want to emulate.
Okay,
because
and now we're gonna get wiped out.
Yeah, I know. No, we won't be wiped out, but it's like
we're not gonna get wiped out. We're not gonna get wiped out because we've got the dominant gene. So
exactly,
we
are
always
the
gonna be
first
here.
men and women of the world.
We're always gonna be here.
We've been there since the beginning, since inception. That's the reality, and everyone was born out of us. So if you study your history, you will know that the first men and women on Earth were black. They were African, and everyone came from us. So we won't disappear.
It's all a game.
It's all a game.
Look at Kim Kardashian. Look at Kim Kardashian. Yeah, they're like, oh, she's got a beautiful behind. And
but
turn around and say Serena Williams looks like a man.
A sister.
Yeah.
You got Chloe. She looks like she's a mixed-faced woman. You got Kylie. She looks like a mixed-faced woman now.
Yewande, what's your take? Because you've been quite quiet. What's your take, Yewande?
I've just been here listening to everyone talking, to be honest. I think a lot of it is environmental as well.
Yes.
Where you grow up, and if you're predominantly around, one race over the other, then you are probably going to date outside of your race. So, like, when you consider like black people in Ireland, A lot of them are dating white people.
White. Yeah, because they're
I can understand though. That's you. I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. But there are black people on Ireland too.
Yeah, no, of course. But I guess if you're predominantly in an area, if you're in an area where there's predominant.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If you're the minority, then
you're the minority. Yeah,
can make it difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's true. You know, no, it's true. No, I hear that. I mean,
you know what we should do? We should set up a speed dating day.
Oh my God.
Man is looking like
no,
that is scary. That is scary though, isn't it?
All I'm saying is there are good. I'm just saying it again. There are good black men out there. There are loads of good black men.
Everyone
out
is like,
there.
There's one here. There's one here.
Look, there's one there waving.
There's one there. What are you talking about?
There is one right there. And I'm saying it's things like this. We have to be able to have forum. Oh, I've got a minute left. Have things like this. You can meet people. It's happened. You can.
It's true.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You know, a friend of a friend. He's gonna know someone who, you know.
It used to be like that. It used to be.
Yeah.
And then I've been asking you for ages now. I'm, you know, I want a guy. Send me out. I need 5 blind dates. Yeah.
No, you're actually genuinely serious, isn't it?
I told you.
Oh yeah, no, you're serious, isn't it?
You did say 6 foot, and I'm only 5'8", so I'm like,
but Ryan is there for this try. Ryan is there.
I'm like,
you could try Ryan. That's what I'm just saying.
I went down to 5'11".
Huh?
I went down to 5'11".
Yeah, but no.